Thank you, Caoirleach, and I want to commend my colleague, Senator O'Loughlin, for bringing forward the motion, not just in your role on the administrative panel, but also as chair of the Women's Caucus. You do a fabulous job. Politics, we know it's not a normal job. Public service doesn't start at 9, finish at 6 and come with leave entitlements. Our families know and accept that all too often politics comes first, but there are times where it shouldn't and it can't. Yet we allow ourselves to be part of a culture where women who have just had children feel that and a life-altering event in our lives, feel that they have no choice but to protect and mind their seats when they should be protecting and minding their newborn babies. And I wouldn't underestimate the conflict the inner conflict that causes. And the last thing I want to do is for us to introduce provisions that support councillors with leave so that they can say, well, that's great, but it's for somebody else and it's not for me because of the fear of losing ground to somebody else, or losing face, or being judged, or allowing your competitors to take advantage of it. So I really think that there needs to be choice and flexibility in what we bring forward, so that people can find what works for them. And as somebody has said, that might be that they continue to work, but that they have the support network behind them. And I want to commend the IILG proposals. Amending Section 18 of the Local Government Act 2001 seems the way to go. They can decide how long they want to take themselves with the remuneration for, say, full remuneration of the first 6 months, 50% up to a year, and then unpaid if they decide to go to 18 months. I think that vouched expenses for those that are still working need to be available. I think remote attendance from here on in is an absolute must, to be able to vote remotely, so that the people that do choose to keep working, that they're not bringing their newborn babies into the chamber, and men on paternity leave aren't being pulled away from being that support network. Pairing should be part of it, but it doesn't work in all councils. And I think where this really gets interesting is that giving the option of a substitute for people for the full period if they want it, but they're not all going to feel comfortable with that. So I do think the real interest, the most impactful part that we can do is administrative and secretarial support, so that the work is still coming from the councillor, but it's done through the office. I want to suggest something else, and that is that that councillors should be able to decide if they're not going to take their maternity leave in full at that time, because there could be, perhaps they've just been elected, perhaps there's an election coming up, perhaps they'll take a month, and then they should be able to take 5 months at a later stage. And I don't think that should be interrupted by the term. I think there should be a time-specific period where they can avail of the maternity leave, and I think they should have options like employees do that aren't office holders, for parental leave, unpaid leave as well. If you can just indulge me in one minute. I wanted to come in this evening. It's my first day speaking in the House since my father passed away. I wanted to come because this is about leave. A life-altering leave, and I want to thank the people that have been behind the scenes for me in my bereavement leave. I have 2 fantastic secretarial assistants who job share, Geraldine Hogan and Evie Salmon, who were able to keep me going and give me peace of mind when I was trying to find peace with what happened as well, and I was paired. And I think people, you can't underestimate that support. And I'll just say that you know, I really miss him. I feel pride and loss in equal measure, and I want to thank everybody for the kind things that they said in this House, outside of this House, in the media, to me, the people that turned up and gave me the support that I needed. He was an uncomplicated, brilliant Irish man and father, and I will be proud of him for every day for the rest of my life. Thank you. Thank you, Senator, and I think you summed it up. He was an amazing Irishman, and
did extraordinary things when called upon, and could have suffered and did suffer serious consequences for his bravery. Thank you.